Now, I want you to listen very keenly to Raila Odinga's speech, which in my considered opinion, all that Raila Odinga is talking about here are complete lies. Remember that currently, the Azimio La Umoja Alliance supporters are extremely disappointed. They feel betrayed after the reports emerged that Raila Odinga was paid to quit or to call off all the anti-government protests. This is the time when Azimio are realizing that kumbe all these issues, the demonstrations, the rallies, and all that was because of Raila Odinga's selfish interest, and that he was just using them. Now that Raila Odinga has achieved his major political objective that he wanted, he has kept quiet. He has abandoned the Azimio La Umoja Alliance supporters. And that is why the Azimio La Umoja Alliance supporters, majority of them, have been calling out on Raila Odinga over his silence when all these issues are currently affecting them. Just listen to this speech, then we proceed.
So now, chance is no longer the cheapest. A vacuum is building down there, which Kenya can actually fill with proper policies. But you cannot do it if you've got mediocrity and the kind of rogues and thieves running our affairs. These thieves will take us nowhere. The cost of living, which Jimmy is talking about here, will not go down when these thieves are in charge. This cost of living will not go down. You see, today people are suffering all over. If those who are saying that demonstrations by Azimio inaharibu biashara yetu, leo wanakuja wanasema baba yuko wapi? Na baba ako kimya. He's not talking. Because they say that demonstrations are destroying our businesses. No, their businesses are being destroyed not by demonstrations, but through taxation. Taxation. Sasa umbwa anakula watoto yake. Si umbwa anakula watoto yake. Sasa nasema ati mkuki kwa nguruwe, kwa binadamu ni chungu. So sisi we were here. Manake walisema wao ni wanajua vile watafanya. Ati hii deni ilichukuliwa mingi, all this time, all rubbish. Now they were saying that the cost of fuel. I showed Babu yesterday a gazette in the Tanzanian newspaper showing how they're reducing the cost of fuel, of petrol, of diesel, of paraffin. And they're saying that because of the war in the Middle East, Israel and Palestine, the cost of fuel has gone down. Here, Shirishiri is telling you, because of that war, the cost of fuel has gone up. Yet the source where Tanzania is buying is the same source where Kenya is also buying. Who is fooling who? So you see, the reason why the cost of fuel is up is very different. They killed what is called OTS, where there used to be an open tender system where all the oil companies will come and bid to supply the fuel. And when the tender has been opened, the cheapest is awarded and goes and brings it. They came up with what they're calling G2G, that themselves are now buying directly from Abu Dhabi and from Saudi Arabia. But they themselves are the ones who are making the commissions. That's why the cost of fuel is going up. That money is actually ending up in the pockets of the same people here. Umbwa inakula watoto yake.
So the main question here is, do you agree with Raila Odinga? According to me personally, I totally disagree with Raila Odinga in that First of all, Raila Odinga is talking about the policies that must be established over the current economic situation. And he is referring to the president and his deputy and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance government as thieves, mediocres, and rogues. But what Raila Odinga is not telling you is that the economy was completely destroyed immediately after the previous handshake with the former head of state, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That is when money was being spent anyhowly over the Building Bridges initiative. There was a lot of corruption, including the KEMSA scandal, including the COVID billionaires. That is what Raila Odinga is not talking about here. Raila Odinga is not talking about the over-borrowing immediately after his handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember that at least Raila Odinga had an opportunity to rule this country with Uhuru Kenyatta as his main advisor. Despite the fact that Raila Odinga is trying to run away to escape from the mistakes of the previous government, he cannot do that when we are watching. Everybody knows all about this. Secondly, Raila Odinga is talking about the cost of living, which is rising. I totally disagree with him on that also, because the only thing that is currently very costly is the prices of fuel. But the basic commodities, the prices of unga have drastically reduced. The prices of cooking oil have gone down. The prices of cooking gas completely down. Those are the kind of issues that Raila Odinga is trying not to talk about. And thirdly, Raila Odinga is talking about the demonstrations. And Raila Odinga is trying so hard to argue that demonstrations were the solution to all these problems. Do you agree with that? Of course I don't at all. Remember that the country was losing a total of 2 billion Kenya shillings each and every time Raila Odinga was calling for demonstrations. The properties were being vandalized, properties being destroyed, massive killings. Raila Odinga and other Azimio leaders putting sufurias on their heads to tame the cost of living. You know, that was completely wrong. And that simply explains as to why after the peace in the country, recently Nairobi city was ranked as one of the best cities in the country. Let me just show you on the screen. You know, those are the kind of issues, the positive issues that occurred in the country. Remember previously, the demonstrations were chasing out the foreign investors in the country. And finally, Raila Odinga is talking about the cost of fuel prices. And he has just compared the prices of fuel between Kenya and Tanzania. Yes, the cost of fuel has increased globally, but it depends on each and every country, the way they run their government. Remember that here in Kenya, the fuel subsidies were removed by William Ruto, which was a good move, by the way. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to think. Let me also know your views and your opinions on the comment section down below. Otherwise, I don't have much. Let me see you again in my next political analysis. Otherwise, I don't have much. Let me see you again in my next video. But please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Bye bye.